Sometimes I want him to react through the hardness of capitalism's presidency. So if you want to have some sort of a choice of bitch, break out the phone!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Happy America Day. Happy Freedom of America, because Donald Trump has won the election in an absolute landslide. It's an amazing thing to see. It was not just a stomping. It was not just a spanking. It was a domination. It was a crushing defeat for Kamala Harris. And you love to see it. And of course you had, AP News, CNN, really just dragging their feet, trying to inaugurate it. I think it took them like a couple of hours or whatever to really just confirm the actual presidency for Donald Trump. I'm going to be honest, I wasn't kind of expecting it to be done in one night, but it was done in a one night. It actually was done pretty early, despite the fact, I don't know how many times they're saying, oh, we're not going to be done for several days or whatever. But that's what happened. And what you can see there in the video post of that is that people were melting down. The liberals are having a meltdown. They need to seek asylum, of course, but they are having a meltdown. They're not having a good day here. And we're going to be going through a few things today with, some of the liberals melting down and Kamala Harris conceding the election. So, we have all that going for us today. Let's celebrate. It's going to be for a fun day, guys. This is going to be for a fun day. We're not going to have seriousness today. We must celebrate. So that's what we're going to do. So what we have here is, from Colin Rugg. During a recent interview with Tucker Carlson, journalist Mark Halpern predicted Trump winning would spark a massive mental health crisis in America. Well, he's not entirely wrong there. He is, unfortunately, likely right. Just go check out TikTok. It looks like a digital insane asylum right now. Thankfully, healing is coming. I think these guys are going to need more than just healing. I think some of these guys may be possessed. I think that a praise of a touch of the hand of God will heal their insanity. Hopefully, if that's a possibility. I don't even know if that can help them, considering on how insane they are. But let's get into the insanity, shall we?
I'm scared to go to sleep. I might wake up a motherfucking slave. I'm sorry. No! Why?
This is all prank, right? Like we're just gonna wake up tomorrow morning and everything's gonna go back to the way it'll be a psych. It'll be like a really bad dream, and none of this.
All I can say is, how fucking dare you?
Said that I was fine, said it from my coffin. Remember how I died when you started walking? That's my life, I'll let it fight.
They are losing their minds. They have lost the plot, ladies and gentlemen. They have lost it insanely. They definitely need the help. Let's hope that they get the help that they need, because sometimes only a praise of the God themselves can save these people from their insanity. Of course, we have this here. Now, I think this is actually one of Kamala Harris's better speeches that she's done. This is kind of her talking about the whole thing. It's about a minute long, and then we'll actually go into her conceding the election momentarily here.
As right, the light of America's promise will always burn bright. As long as we never give up, and as long as we keep fighting. To my beloved Doug and our family, I love you so very much. To President Biden and Dr. Biden, thank you for your faith and support. To Governor Walz and the Walz family, I know your service to our nation will continue. and to my extraordinary team, to the volunteers who gave so much of themselves, the light.
Yeah, so we have that there, and now we have this, where Cardi B is losing their mind again. It says, this is why some of your states are getting hurricanes. She's going completely unhinged.
This is why some of y'all states be getting hurricanes. That's all I'm going to say.
Now, I could tell that she's already completely insane. But this woman is also, missing drugging and robbing men years ago, so that's great. A perfect idol to be recognizing somebody here as well. So, yeah, she's lost the plot. She's insane. That's not a surprise. Also saying, well, you kind of deserve hurricanes. North Carolina, Georgia, the people, the states that got hit by hurricanes lost, almost close to 1,000 people. Yeah, this is the reason why you've been getting hurricanes, because we elected this guy. Well, you endorsed a buffoon and she got washed. So, yeah, not a good look on you, but we already know how you typically men, so there's that. But what we have here is this. This is MSNBC pretty much just calling black and brown men racist and sexist. Oh, so you guys are now that they didn't follow your mantra, your cult, you now do what the typical cult thing does, and you just call every black and brown person racist and misogynist and sexist, because name calling is what lost you this election, by the way. So maybe you should probably stop doing that and start respecting people for different opinions, but we all know MSNBC does not do that.
I just say, Rev, really quickly, too, Democrats need to be mature, and they need to be honest. And they need to say, yes, there's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. Mm-hmm. It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Right.
It's misogyny from black men, things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States. The Democratic Party, I've always found, when you're sitting around talking, they love to just sort of balkanize everybody into these separate groups and say, oh, white people don't like women and black people. No, it is time for the Democrats to say, okay, and you and I have talked about this before, a lot of Hispanic voters have problems with black candidates.
Right.
A lot
and
of,
with other Hispanics. You got some that don't like each other. And some of the most misogynist things I've heard going on this Get Out the Vote tour came from black men. I mean, misogynist things. So you're absolutely right. It's not simplistic. And we've got to have real honest conversations about it.
Real honest conversations. So
this is what they think of you, right? Because you don't vote for them. You don't make them win the election. You're a misogynist, you're a racist, you don't like your own people. That's kind of the way that they're going about this. The typical MSNBC disgusting rhetoric that they keep on proposing here. Oh, by the way, if they won the election, they would say, Hispanic and black people, they're not racist, they're not sexist, they did the good job, they got us to win. But of course, if they make you lose, as they did, you're a racist, you're a sexist, you don't like your own race even. Look at the insanity that these people are. It's actually just insane. And, of course, we have this here from Sunny Houston saying this wasn't about policy, it was all about her race and gender. Typical The View insanity.
I'm surprised at the result, but I'm not surprised. As a woman of color, I was so hopeful that a mixed-race woman married to a Jewish guy could be elected president of this country. Mm-hmm. And I think that it had nothing to do with policy. I think this was a referendum of cultural resentment in this country. I'm surprised at the...
Well, it's one thing that she's right about. It is a cultural resentment in this country. But specifically a cultural resentment of, I would say, the current culture we have right now. Whereas the culture is a lot of with the trans, gay, ideology, DEI, this stuff. America has shown that they do not want this BS anymore in our country. We do not want this insanity in our country, and the people's voices have been heard. Now, when it comes down to their race and gender, that has nothing to do with it. It just so happens to be that Kamala Harris was a terrible, terrible candidate, and it just doesn't go well. And unfortunately, Carrie Lake did not win, which is unfortunate. I think she is a promising candidate. But other than that, that has nothing to do with it, alright? I think that's just the insanity here. And of course, we have Kamala Harris here saying she's conceding the election to Donald Trump. So let's do that.
In our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States. And loyalty to our conscience and to our God. My allegiance to all three is why I am here to say, while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign. The fight for freedom, for opportunity, for fairness, and the dignity of all people. A fight for the ideals at the heart of our nation, the ideals that reflect America at our best. That is a fight I will never give up.
There you have it there. She concedes to Donald Trump, so it's actually official, and what have you. And of course, we have this here. This is probably one of the bigger news that's happening around right now, outside of Donald Trump winning the election. So the Department of Justice and Jack Smith immediately end their case against Donald Trump. The DOJ cited their policy that presidents can't be prosecuted. However, it was assumed they would work up until the last day. What's interesting here is that the DOJ is moving to end them even before he takes office, citing the long-standing DOJ policy that sitting presidents can't be prosecuted. And there were some thought that maybe Special Counsel Jack Smith was going to sprint through the finish line, was going to work up until the last day, force Trump to fire him. Wait till Attorney General was appointed. But that doesn't appear to be thinking inside the department. The thinking is that these cases can't go forward. And of course, we have this here as well. We'll just break this into a tiny bit. That the RFK says that he'll be proposing an FDA overhaul, Food and Drug overhaul. So I think a lot of these companies are going to be going down under.
That these cases can't go forward when Donald Trump takes office. What's interesting here is that the DOJ is moving to end them even before he takes office, citing the long-standing DOJ policy that sitting presidents can't be prosecuted. And there was some thought that maybe Special Counsel Jack Smith was going to sprint through the finish line, was going to work up until the last day, force Trump to fire him, wait till a new attorney general was appointed. But that does not appear to be the thinking inside the department. The thinking is that these cases can't go forward. There's no reasonable prospect of getting to trial within the 3 months before Donald Trump takes office. These cases are mired in legal issues that would be appealed all the way to the Supreme Court had Donald Trump lost the election. So now that he's won the election, DOJ officials are thinking that, look, there's just no room to move in these cases. And so the sensible thing to do is to figure out a way to wind them down. And it may stem from Donald Trump's lawyers filing some kind of motion or making a request saying in light of the DOJ policy, you need to drop these cases. Now, there are a few wrinkles here, one of which is that the classified documents case includes 2 other defendants who are not subject to that policy. And it's been dismissed, obviously, but that dismissal has been appealed. And the DOJ considers that ruling to be very bad law that it would like to be overturned. So that appeal may continue in some form. But the reality is that Donald Trump is not going to be a part of these cases. And what this means, I mean, we knew this, right? But just coming to grips with what this means intellectually is that Donald Trump is not likely to be held accountable on these very serious federal criminal charges that many people believe were worse than what Richard Nixon did or was accused of doing in Watergate. Now, there's no guarantee that Donald Trump would have been convicted at trial. But as Joyce Vance, our legal commentator, said to me this morning, what's not going to happen is he's not going to face a jury of his peers who would evaluate the evidence and render a verdict. it's going to be lost to history whether a jury would have found him guilty of these very serious crimes.
So it's just not happening. He's not being prosecuted. Of course, Letitia James over here is pretty much saying that she wants to continue the going on to do it. So she's pretty much saying that the press, Letitia James declares she is a guardian of the law, tells New Yorkers not to be scared about Donald Trump being president. James said she has a contingency plan in response to Trump winning the election. So here we are. We studied their platforms. We identified certain possibilities. We created contingency plans. So no matter what the next administration throws at us, we are ready. We are ready to respond to their attacks. So she's continuing to do this. Well, the thing is, I think what's going to be going on here is that the agencies that you are a part of are probably going to be abolished, or if not completely overhauled in every regard, because you're going to have massive funding redistributed, as Musk has promised, along with Ron Paul. And with Ron Paul gets on here, there isn't very much that you're going to do, right? Like, you're probably going to be destroyed. Your establishment is going to be taken down, and I can't wait to see it. It's a beautiful day in America. God bless you all, and everybody, like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted, because it's algorithmic disease, the social media.